They say black cats are a sign of misfortune and that letting one cross your path is bad luck. This statement may hold true for whoever crosses either of these two on the battlefield: King T'Challa the Black Panther and Blake Belladonna of Team RWBY. Cats are said to have 9 lives, but today we'll find out who goes down to 8. Today, we rewind rumble. Before we discuss the powers and abilities of these two characters, we must first go into their origins. Blake Belladonna grew up under heavy oppression and racism. Her father was once the leader of an organization known as the White Fang, a group that fought for equality between humans and Blake's race known as the Faunas. The Faunas are a race of people who appear mostly human but with a few physical traits of animals. Blake herself is a cat faunus. This gives her cat ears, excellent night vision, and enhanced superhuman characteristics. Growing up, Blake would frequently attend White Fang rallies and fight for equality, eventually becoming an active member and getting into a relationship with the group's soon-to-be leader Adam. But after Adam started to fight for more dominance instead of equality, Blake left for Beacon Academy, where she trained to fight the Grimm and joined the other members of Team RWBY. As for Black Panther, he started off as just T'Challa, the Prince of Wakanda. He spent his life studying at some of the best universities in the world. Of course, this didn't make him some defenseless bookworm, as when he returned home to find his father had been assassinated, he had to go through the rite passage to prove himself worthy to be the next Wakandan king. To do this, he had to defeat 6 deadly fighters in combat, and of course, he succeeded. After this, T'Challa had proven his right to claim the throne and the blessing of Bast, the Panther god. He went through the ritual of the heart-shaped herb, which gave him superpowers, and he donned the costume of the Black Panther. With origins out of the way, we can discuss the powers and abilities of these two. Blake, of course, is a faunus, which grants her not only superhuman characteristics, but also excellent night vision. Blake is armed with a gamble shroud. Not only is this thing a highly effective sword, but it can also fire dust rounds like a pistol, and the sheath for the blade part of the weapon can cut foes just as effectively. Blake also has several elemental dust variants she can load her weapon with to give her shots different effects, such as the fire and ice dusts. Like many other characters in the RWBY universe, Blake can use her aura and has unlocked her semblance. Blake's aura acts as a shield against attacks and can even heal minor wounds. Her semblance allows her to create a shadow clone to take a hit for her as she moves out of the way. This is good for confusing and distracting the targets in order to draw their attention away and get a good hit in, or as a method of escape. It's a good decoy. Her shadow clones can also be modified with dust, giving them elemental properties. Blake can use fire, ice, earth, and violet dust. Fire dust causes the clone to catch fire and explode. Ice dust freezes it solid. Earth dust turns the clone to stone, and violet dust turns it into a purple haze to make it stay around longer, thus blocking the target's vision. Black Panther has his fair share of abilities too. The heart-shaped herb grants him superhuman strength, speed, and durability. He can see in the dark and even detect infrared ultraviolet light, and his awareness of his own movements are much greater than that of a normal human's. He's studied at some of the best universities in the world and thus knows over 160 forms of martial arts. He also has quite the arsenal of weapons. His suit is made out of woven vibranium, one of the strongest materials in the Marvel universe, though it is not as strong as regular vibranium like Captain America's shield, but his woven vibranium suit is still incredibly durable and can absorb kinetic energy of anything that hits it. His suit comes equipped with anti-metal claws, which can cut through nearly anything like butter, and he can form energy daggers to pierce foes who aren't within slashing distance. Plus, he has shields of hard and light just in case he doesn't feel like getting his nearly indestructible suit dirty. And then there's his devices that allow for cloaking and teleportation. Moving on to stats, Blake is quite the powerful fighter. She's taken on many giant Grimm before, including building-sized behemoths like the Sea Dragon. Blake has also kept up with some of the series' greatest villains like Adam and Roman. She would be on close par with her teammates in terms of speed, including Yang, who can dodge bullets, and she was even able to dodge lightning breath from the Sea Dragon. Black Panther is also quite impressive himself. He can throw a spear through an entire solid wall. That's gotta be at least multi-universal. I'm kidding, of course. Bad jokes aside, let's talk about T'Challa's actual more impressive feats. He's dodged bullets, wrestled a fully grown male lion, stopped a charging elephant, and kept up with many other Marvel characters like Spider-Man, Hulk, Daredevil, Captain America, Iron Man, and the X-Men. He's even fought against Killmonger for 13 hours straight. Of course, neither character is perfect, both of them have limits, and it's still very possible to beat them in a fight. They both have lost their fair share of battles. Blake's aura has a limit, and the more damage it takes, the weaker it becomes. She's also very young with much to learn, and in the current volume of RWBY, her combat experience over the past few months has been very minimal. She's also used to fighting as a team, not so much fighting alone. As for Black Panther's weaknesses, despite being superhuman, enough force can kill him like any other man. He is mortal, of course, and while his vibranium suit is incredibly durable, it can be broken and it's been damaged before through blunt force and sound-based attacks.
And now, let's get ready for the fight. This battle will take place on Earth, and remember, there is no prep time. Let the battle begin!
For the hunt! You face the wrath of a king! Try to keep up with me. Learn to channel your rage, and you may stand a chance. Vengeance has consumed you. I am T'Challa, King of Valconda.
Hopefully you enjoyed that animation, and if you did, super special thanks to Team Animation Rewind Scorpio 9905. I'd also like to thank Sonic Luke for editing the pre and post analysis of this upload, Biff Weed for the script, and Corn O'Keefe for the research/notes. Thanks, and enjoy the post analysis. And the winner is Black Panther. Hopefully this doesn't come off as too much of a surprise. I'll try to keep myself without making any pussy slayer jokes and instead just focus on why Black Panther wins. Starting off with speed, Blake can dodge lightning breath from the Sea Dragon, easily putting her reaction speed at 220,000 miles per hour, roughly 287 times the speed of sound. Very impressive, but Black Panther has her beat. Black Panther has fought the likes of Deadpool, Spider-Man, and the X-Men. The X-Men includes the likes of Beast, who can react in nanoseconds, and other X-Men like Wolverine can scale to Beast's reaction time. Wolverine himself was even surprised at how fast he is. Deadpool has dodged Cyclops' optic blasts before, which are confirmed to be light speed, and Spider-Man has many FTL feats of his own, such as dodging the optic blast, actual light-based attacks, and he tagged Quicksilver. Black Panther is able to keep up with all of this, showing his reaction speed to be faster than light, of course in short bursts while his stamina is in peak condition. Even if we give Blake's lightning dodging feat way more credit than it deserves, and assume she dodged it at 1/3 the speed of light, which is a very generous highball, and say that Black Panther's reaction and combat speeds are light speed instead of faster than light, Blake would still at the very least be 3 times slower, and that's the best case scenario for her. Worst case scenario, she's thousands of times slower. That speed edge alone says a lot, but this is only the beginning of things. As for strength, Blake has taken on building-sized enemies, such as Roman's mech and the Sea Dragon. She's also beaten Adam, who was able to cut off Yang's arm, which is impressive since Yang was still standing after being punched through stone pillars and survived massive free falls. Blake should be in the large building level ranges, which is very impressive for her, but Black Panther easily tops this. Black Panther has taken on Spider-Man even in his black suit. The same Spider-Man who can stagger the Hulk and damage Luke Cage, both of who survived nuclear bombs. Black Panther can also scale to Captain America, who one-shot Deadpool, who strolled out of nuclear explosions before. Scaling to this should put Black Panther at around city level, way above Blake. Their physical durability is around the same as their attack potency for similar reasons, but Black Panther has far better defenses. Sure, Blake and her aura can protect her and regenerate minor wounds, but Black Panther's woven vibranium suit trumps this. Even if this is one of the weaker versions of vibranium, it's still one of the most durable materials in the Marvel Universe. Blake couldn't hope to get past it. He also has his solid light shields, which give him even more defensive options. On to mental stats, Black Panther dominates here as well. He's the 8th smartest person in the Marvel Universe and has decades of combat experience, as well as mastery on every martial art in the world. Blake is a good student and has quite few battles under her belt, but most of her major experience has her fighting alongside a team. Blake's intelligence and experience is nothing to scoff at, but Black Panther's are just much greater. Black Panther also has a much greater arsenal. Of course, there's his vibranium suit, but he also has his anti-metal claws, which could cut through Blake and her aura like butter, his light speed shields, which give him more defensive options, his cloaking and teleportation, which give him better options to throw Blake off, than what Blake's semblance give her in her energy daggers, which can phase through things, bypassing conventional durability, and can scramble the mind of whoever it hits. Now, this isn't some no-limits fallacy he can just do to anyone, but it's worked against Ultron before. I'm sure it would work against Blake. Blake's Gamble Shroud and semblance are impressive, but nothing compared to Black Panther's wide arsenal of advanced Wakandan gadgets. As much as I would like to say what I usually do about the loser putting up a good fight, Blake just can't even put up a fight against Black Panther. She's statistically outclassed everywhere that matters. Her only hope would be to throw him off and stall him with her semblance until Black Panther gets tired. But Black Panther has fought against Killmonger for 13 hours straight. Blake can't last long enough to tire him out. Besides that, Blake just didn't have any way to win. She lacks any sound-based weapons to weaken Black Panther's vibranium suit, and she lacks the stats needed to beat him physically, making the winner of this Rumble, Black Panther. On the next episode of Rewind Rumble.